What's up, everybody? Biltendo here, and I have another really cool item to show you today. There's a reason this Super Famicom cartridge is up behind me, and we're gonna get to that. First of all, let's go over real quick what is the difference between a Super Nintendo and a Super Famicom. Well, the Super Nintendo was released in America. Super Famicom was released in Japan. Internally, on the insides, it's the same system. So, a Super Famicom cartridge, Super Nintendo cartridge look a little different. But the chipboard on the inside is exactly the same. So if you swapped the chipboard from a Super Famicom into a Super Nintendo cartridge, it would work. The only difference is you can't fit a Super Nintendo game because the plastic is bigger inside of a Super Famicom. But you can fit a Super Famicom cartridge into a Super Nintendo. Now, let's get to J.R.A. Pat, the game that's up above my head. The really cool thing about this game is it's not actually a game. In order to operate this, you didn't use the regular Super Famicom, Super Nintendo controller. You could, but it wouldn't give you all the functions you need, because this technically is not a game. What this did was connect it via early internet with dial-up to a horse betting location in Japan. And you would use this cartridge, this specific controller by NTT Data, and you could bet real money on horse races. But to do so, you needed this modem. Now, not only have I very rarely seen these modems that were made for the Super Famicom, but I've never seen one in this condition. This one actually looks like it was never used, and there's the writing on the bottom. And you can see that the twist ties on the wiring don't look like they've ever been undone. So basically what you do is this modem plugs into the controller 2 port on the Super Famicom. This controller plugs into port 1, and then you plug this into a phone line, which the phone line adapter is there, and even a phone cord. And you would use that in your number pad to bet on horse races. Nintendo was into online gambling. The controller is cool. It's a little bit heavier, but you would expect it to be much heavier because of the size difference. I mean, let me get that in frame. This is the size difference. It's, you know, a good bit longer. But it doesn't weigh a whole lot more. It's still a really cool controller, and you can use this controller with regular games for the most part. Some people like it because it is wider and you have a wider handset. But, you know, the SNES controller is just the bomb. Actually, you can't see the yellow or the green because I have a green screen behind me. Interesting enough, but we only had purple and gray buttons on the Super Nintendo controller because the rumor is, although unconfirmed, that Americans would try to eat the buttons because they would think they were candy. But yes, Nintendo had a gambling app online before anyone else. It wasn't a game. It was for betting real money through the Super Famicom / Super Nintendo. From what I understand, if you modified your Super Nintendo, which is only a 2-second job to play Super Famicom cartridges, then you could have used the Super Nintendo with the modem to play or bet on horse races in Japan. So, pretty cool thing. You don't see very often. Just thought you guys would like to check it out before I ship it out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Everything helps. Leave some comments and check out Biltendo.com where I have all kinds of cool stuff. Thank you.